This story is the number one reason why my electricity bill is so high. I keep every single light on in the house now when my boyfriend isn't home. I moved in with my boyfriend exactly 1 year ago tomorrow. We worked at the same place and neither of us had a car. Work was about a 20-minute walk from his house and a 2 hour and 30-minute walk from my house, so he was sweet enough to tell me just to move in since I spent nearly every night there anyway. We worked 3 days a week scheduled, and overtime we got to pick which days we wanted. Shifts were between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m, and to anyone who had been watching our house regularly, they would see an obvious pattern. We'd be gone the same 3 days each week, then I would pick the first optional day as my overtime day, and my boyfriend would work all the optional days, like 6 days a week. Several months before moving in with my boyfriend, I was in a terrible relationship with a disgusting piece of shit who abused me and was finally removed from my home by police and taken to jail for 6 months. He got out the day before I moved in with my current boyfriend, and he was not happy. He started harassing me, sending me death threats and telling every mutual friend that he was carrying a gun and he would shoot me if he ever saw me. I got a restraining order, and although he couldn't harass me to my face, he started getting creative. He moved in with a girl who just lived round the block from me. After I begged her not to tell him where I'd moved to, she told him the same day I moved in, and I'm 100% sure that's why he moved in with her. I believe he started watching my house and figured out my work schedule. One day I came home to find a teddy bear and a used condom around his head placed in the middle of my driveway. I recognised it, and I knew for a fact it was the teddy bear he had given me months ago, that I had given back to his stepmom with the rest of his things when he was in jail. I was super creeped out, and I finally got a car, so on days when my boyfriend would work I would drive him and then drive home, but when I came back I would always feel like there was someone hiding in the bush at the edge of our property. One day I finally looked behind the bush, and although no one was there, I found a crushed Noz can. Noz is a way too sweet but extremely cheap soda that my abusive ex would completely be addicted to, so this made me even more sure he was spying on me. After a couple of weeks of keeping all my doors and windows closed, I switched up my schedule a little bit. Instead of taking day 1 for overtime, I took day 2 since I had a doctor's appointment on day 1 and I didn't want to be tired that night from missing sleep. My boyfriend worked every overtime day as usual. He likes making money and he's willing to work hard for it. I took my boyfriend to work and I got home within minutes, and I could tell that there was something majorly wrong. The way my house is laid out, the front door is in the living room on the east, the kitchen is to the south, and the dining room is to the west side of the kitchen, not visible at any angle from the living room, and has the back door. My normally quiet cats were losing their minds, both making a lot of noise and both running back and forth from the dining room. One of the cats was mine and my ex's, and one of them was my boyfriend's. My ex would abuse the cat up until the cops took him away, so the little kitty lived on edge every time he was around my ex. He used to hide between my legs like a little toddler for protection. That was the biggest warning sign that I didn't even realise. While my boyfriend's cat was going in the dining room meowing, my cat would run to the dining room and then look back at me and run between my legs. All of a sudden I heard the back door slam. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. As I crept round the corner I saw the dining room light was on and the screen door was pulled open while the glass door was slid shut and it was unlocked. Now I know for a fact that light was off and both the glass and the screen doors were shut, and the glass door was locked when we left. My ex has since been arrested for breaking and entering a different house shortly after and faces 8 years in prison. Since going back into custody, all the strange things around the house stopped. I have been terrified every single night by this. Obviously he knew which days I would be gone, and I caught him off guard coming home that day. I keep thinking about what ifs. What if he hadn't have fled when he heard me come home? What if he had made good on his death threats and tried to shoot me? I called the cops and they said that there was nothing that they could do because I couldn't prove that he was the one who broke in. So, you nasty piece of shit creeper, let's never ever meet again, because if we do, I will have protection with me next time, and next time you will be the bastard that is bruised and bleeding. This happened to me maybe 6 years ago. I had been out that night with friends and wound up hanging out really late talking to a guy I had a crush on. It was around 2 AM on a weeknight and I pulled into my parking lot. I remember feeling relieved that the lamp on the light was actually working. Often it wouldn't be, and it always made me uneasy, even though I lived in a safe area. This was the first apartment I had rented, where the entrance to the apartments were inside the building, so you need a key to get in. I got my key to the building's door ready in my hand before I got out of my car. Not a thing I always did, but at 2 AM it seemed like a good idea. The lock on that door was frequently broken. You'd go weeks without needing your key because the door was just unlocked. I don't know if the residents kept breaking it because they were tired of needing a key or what. It was annoying, but as a single girl in her mid-20s living alone, I was thankful for all the protection that was available. Anyway, I gathered my purse, door key in hand, and got out of the car. I'm walking to the door. I'm still a good 20 feet away. I pass the side of the building. Out of the corner of my eye, this guy stands up out of the fucking bushes against the building and starts to follow me. They weren't even tall bushes. The dude had to have been crouched in them. Now, I only saw him out of the corner of my eye. In different circumstances, I might have thought I didn't see him correctly, or that it was just a shadow or something. But what made my blood run cold was the sound of the dead dried leaves. The unmistakable sound of leaves crunching underneath feet. If he had been on the grass or on a concrete path through the grass, he wouldn't have made that noise. There were no leaves there. They had all blown against the side of the building, under the bushes. Now I'm instantly freaked the fuck out and I pick up my pace, but I don't run. I don't turn around and look at the guy either. I don't want to overreact just in case it's a neighbour who was walking his dog at 2 AM in the bushes, without a dog. I don't know. I can't explain why I felt the need to act so scared. I could hear leaves crunching, give way to the shoes on asphalt behind me, following me, and they got faster. He wasn't running, but he was walking faster than I was. It was like I didn't want to run because I didn't want him to know that I had seen or heard him, and he didn't want to run to let me know that he was following me. I don't know. It was weird. My hands were starting to shake and I was feeling terrified that the door would actually be locked. Even though I had the key in my hand, if I had to stop to unlock it, he'd catch me. I ran up the steps and ripped open the door and got inside. Thank fuck it wasn't locked. If he was waiting in the bushes and trying to catch me, why did I think an unlocked door was going to stop him? So I knew I wasn't safe yet. The door closed behind me, but it was made of glass, so I knew he could still see me. I turned right, and as soon as I was out of sight, I bolted. The swinging doors to the stairs were propped open like they sometimes were. So if he comes inside now, he won't see the doors swinging and immediately know I went upstairs. For all he knows now, I could be in one of 3 apartments before the stairs. I'd never run upstairs so fucking fast in my life, taking them 2 or 3 at a time. I remember making a mental note that I'm glad that I don't really wear heels. I finally reached the top and I stopped because I feel dumb. I feel like I'm overreacting. I listen. I hear the front door close. Panic struck through me again. I turned, went through the second set of doors, which he now would have heard. I fumbled the keys with my shaky hands. I locked it and deadbolted it, and I propped the door jam bar under the doorknob so even if the locks failed, he couldn't open the door. I knew that was an overkill. He wouldn't even know which apartment was mine, but I didn't care. I couldn't feel safe enough. I thought about staring out of the peephole to see if anyone came up the stairs, but I couldn't do it. It didn't occur to me to call the cops. I still felt that I was overreacting, even though he followed me into my building. Never had anything like that happen to me again while I lived there. Whenever I think about it, I get all panicky all over again. I had no idea what this guy was going to do when he caught up with me, or if he caught up with me, and I'm glad I never found out.